Alright, Shalom. Kala Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who will well tell me this truth. And peace and blessings be to the hopeful elect. Honor Brother Yashar Gabar back to you again. Another lesson. Lord willing, this lesson be edifying to the elect. Alright. And just touching on, recent things, dealing with this YouTube AI ID, technology and shit. Pretty much watching what you do, watching what you searching and everything, to identify you, putting in your personal information so they can keep up who you are, all right, behind these platforms, behind your channels, all right. So, and we know this devil, he's going to try to do anything, all right, to stop the word from going out. But as the scripture says, you can do nothing against it before it, all right. Now, I seen the CBS News, and they were speaking on it. So let's see. It says YouTube to roll out a new AI-powered technology aimed to identify teen users. YouTube announced on Tuesday it is planning to roll out new age estimation technology that will identify users under the age of 18. The new features is intended to protect young teens from harmful content, the company says. Powered by artificial intelligence, the tool will be able to assess a person's age based on the type of videos you watched, the catalog of videos, and how long the person has had their account, regardless of the birthday associated with it. All right. Now, since when, America, cared about, to protect the young, all these years dealing with pervertive, sexual shit, on the television, bringing in trends in the schools, in elementary schools at that, So, hey, this is all, to stop the word from going out, man. All right, this devil want to keep up and see who's behind, all right, these channels, all right. So, and it's all part of his new system, to see if you've been searching the truth, keep up and see what videos have you watched and how long, you've been watching these videos, all right, and what kind of content are you putting out, all right. Hey, this is not to protect no fucking kids, all right, no, young teens. And if I'm not mistaken, YouTube have what kids YouTube, all right. So this is all just BS, man. All right. So let's get this, and it's just snares. So let's grab this. Isaiah chapter 29 verse 21. It says they make a man an offender of the word, and lay snares for him that reproveth in the gates, and turn aside the just for the thing of naught. Yeah, and who's doing the reproving? All right, the prophets. Who's the just? The prophets. That's coming with that 100% truth, man. And they lay snares upon him. And these is snares. These are traps. To keep the word from going out. All right. Ultimately, it's going to be like this for every, social media, going all the way down to Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and all these other platforms, man. All right. But these are snares, to keep up with the just, stop the word from going out. Because, hey, this devil, he hates it, man. Even his own people, it's coming out, and pissed off at the government, exposing, this truth. Or even dealing with his anti-Semitic, you know, and all the other nonsense. All right, to hide his identity, and hide who he is, man. All right. So let's see, because there was another, bill that they want to pass, and it was the let me see, the stop stop the hate act. All right, and I searched it on Chat GPT to see what it was. Now it's two different, stop the hate acts. Well, it was already one. All right, that was in New York, so it's not the same. All right. Now this is it says stop the hate act, federal bill stop terrorism, online present and holding accountable tech and entities act. All right. So pretty much they targeting, these platforms. So let's see. It said it's aimed to require social media platforms to submit Trinal, if I'm saying it right, reports to the U.S. Attorney General about how their moderation policies address terrorism content. It would mandate platforms to develop a specific policies for groups designated as terrorism, and would impose fines up to $5 million per day for non-compliance. Now they want to mandate, all right, these platforms to create something, all right, to keep, terrorism, hate speech, off their platforms. And if non-compliance, sue them for $5 million. All right. Now, this is what ultimately is going to come to what trying to stop this word, because we know that this devil, he loves to try to label, all right, brothers that's doing the word, teaching the truth, all right, hate groups, terrorism, things of that sort. All right. Now with these platforms, all right, they're not gonna want to be sued. All right. So this a way for them to get rid of your channel. All right. Strikes. It ain't gonna come down to strikes. They're just gonna get rid of it. And try to keep you off the internet. All right, and especially dealing with this system with their AI ID, got to show who you is, put in your personal information and shit, so they're gonna try to get you off the internet, keeping up with you, making sure you have to sign in into these platforms. All right. And once they see who you are, they're going to be like, hey, no, he's banned, There ain't going to be no more ghost, accounts. People be making threats, sending threats behind, all right, these platforms and YouTubes, Now, this is all part of what this new system, all right, Esau wants to roll in, all right? And it's all, just part of prophecy, man, to stop bringing that new world order, stop the word from going out, keeping track of who you is, Now, if you scroll down on here, let me see, it says, this content moderation policies around hate speech, extremists, disinformation, harassment, and foreign policy influence this progress in enforcing those policies. All right. Now, let's get this. Bring out scripture right quick. It's not this. Go back. All right, Amos chapter 8, verse 11. It says, "Behold, the days come, said the Lord Yahweh, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst of water, but in hearing the words of the Lord." All right, so the Lord said what? He's going to send a famine in the land. You know, a majority, of how this truth got pushed out, was through the internet, that unicorn. All right, through these YouTube, the social media, but mainly whether YouTube. All right. Now, dealing with all this, these new bills, new policies, they're passing, it's trying to keep, all right, this word from going out. All right, but the Lord said, "What? I'm gonna send a famine through the land." All right, the famine of hearing of the word, man. All right, and this is why it's important, all right, to get this truth now. All right, because pretty soon you're not gonna be able, all right, to be able to just get on YouTube, all right, search what you want to hear, all right, search brothers' pages. Because what? This devil, he's going to come down, all right, and try to take brothers' pages off the YouTube, all right, keep, brothers from, teaching, all right. So it says what? But a hearing of the word of the Lord, all right. Because this devil, he's against, the prophets are speaking the truth, all right. Now let's end it off. Let's grab this right here. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 8. It says, "And then shall the wicked be revealed." All right, who's the wicked? All right, Esau, Edom. All right, he's the wicked. All right. It says, "Whom the Lord shall consume the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming." All right, and who's the Lord's mouth? All right, the prophets. All right, that's who's telling you, all right, the truth, man. The 100% truth, all right, the true prophets, all right, and the Lord is using brothers, to what, expose, all right, who the devil is, wake up the elect, expose, and bring down those strongholds, man, all the lies that you'd have been taught, all right, since you was a child, JC, wicked ass Christianity, lies, exposing who the devil is, all right? And this devil, he can't stop this truth from going out, all right? Therefore, he's going to try to do, whatever he can, all right? And that's what, coming down, with his policies, stopping the word, trying to stop the word from going out on YouTube, and other platforms. All right. But, it's all part of prophecy, man. And the Lord said what he was going to shut the mouths, of the prophets, pretty much. And we're not going to be out here, too long, all right, rebuking, all right, and telling you people what it is, all right. The scripture says what they're going to run to and fro to try to seek the words of the Lord. They're not going to find it, so, hey, we in the end, man, all right. You're seeing prophecies, come to pass, all right, these things getting put in play, all right. And then once, this devil thinks he's going to fill his belly, coming with his new world order, bringing in that MOTB, which is the C-HIP, and this place is going to be destroyed after that, man. We in the end, all right, so you want to get this truth, while it's hot, not putting off day to day, all right, thinking you have time, all right, to continue and, doing what you want to do, live how you want to live, all right. So I'm ending off with that. Giving all praises, honor, and glory goes to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash, and give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Till next time, say shalom.